Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're here for more Mushishi action here, Season 2 now, episodes 19 and 20. Excited to jump in here and see what's going on with Ginkgo and the gang. I don't really know if there's a gang, not really. This is going to be episodes. You know the gist by now. But looky over here, Patreon comment, very cool, from Matthew Bratcher. And yeah, just in general about last week, really quite strong on that second episode, on episode 18. Really love the ending there, as I'm sure I went into last week. Very cool. Either way, Matthew Bratcher talking to the quality shift probably in the second half of Season 2 relative to the first half. I would agree there, the episodes as of late have been quite good. Noting here that it feels like the specials themselves push up that quality level, so every time we get something a little bit outside of the realm of the normal TV anime, it just elevates. So there's these like clear separating points between the show. And some positive news as well. Apparently their favorite 2 episodes are still to come, one of which being that double length finale special. Episode 17 here really managing to touch on a whole range of themes, up to including motherhood, postpartum depression, complex emotions resulting from that. It's all very clean. I like it a lot. And most of all, it doesn't frame any of that stuff as a mistake. That's what I really like too. Like, I didn't make any mistake in anything that I did in the process, and I get a happy ending accordingly. If anything, we show in that episode that the father's trepidation is the thing that's holding them back, which I just think's really lovely. And here's to more ambitious episodes as we continue here. Yeah, don't really know what's in store here, but we're going to find out. First things first, shouting at the Patreon, of course. I have a Patreon, is linked in the description below. If you'd like to see next week's episodes 1 week early, getting to that pointy end now. So it'll be the last couple of episodes of Season 2 before that special next week. So if you want to watch them, you can. $6 a month. Double votes in polls. All sorts of great stuff there. So yeah, very big thank you to the following people. Sean, Ace Lightning, AJ, Akomancer, Astagif, Bananarama Hamadama-sama, Batero, Brennan M. Gibbons, Brett Jones, Capella, Choberibi, Copley, Cure Dynamic, Dakota, Dapper Dwarf, Diark Lord, Dorke Hyo, Eclipsing, Ed, Eric Algelius, Fancy Question Mark, Fried Rice, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Hans Peter, I. Bailey, Ika, Iria, Yako Yavden, Jacob R., Jeff Solis, Joran, Kasogtha, Clem, Lexi, Lick H, Lou, Lupe Ferrugia, Maddock the Doppelganger, Matthew Mortlock, Mickey Babbers, Miru, Mistake Yell Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Nature Without Man, Noah, Parnick, Pencil Shop 333, Pike, Rex15M, Ronlad B&K, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Samuel Guerrero, SGM Janus, Shiny Haxorus, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Tobias Dahl Christensen, Waifu Overdose Without a Net, Binshi, Jummy Boo, Kelvin, BD422, Fluffy, Matthew Bratcher, and Ren. Thank you very much for giving me money. I enjoy the money. Mushishi time, it is an episodic show. I do not need to set it up in the same way that I set up other shows. Keen to just be jumping in here and seeing what's going on with Ginkgo. What adventure will he find? So yeah, episode 19 of the show coming right up. Rightio, episode 19 up there, ready to go. 23 minutes and 42 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have the ARC version with the Decky Nice subs. If that helps you, it helps you. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. No shiver? No shiver. We're not shivering. We're underwater? Well, that's not ideal. Very deep. If it's that same river. I know that guy. Mermaid. Merboy. He's very good. Actually, inhumanly good, actually. Like, how's he even moving like that? Fish Boy. Azure Waters. I think I said last week that sounds like a name, but it certainly does. Hello, my name is Azure. Then who is that woman drowning? Ooh, he's like slimy. Well, Frog Boy. Yeah. Oh, plenty of fish. That's nice. Yeah. Okay, so Ginkgo. Yeah. He's already clocked onto something. Title card. Well, I'm a Mushishi. It says so on screen right there. I could know a thing or two. Mm-hmm. Ooh, webbed fingers. I've got webbed toes, chat. I don't know how to explain that, though. Yeah. I don't... maybe. He definitely isn't normal. But is that a bad thing? Yeah, he's sleep swimming. He's downright obsessed. He's crying sideways? Uh-huh. I wonder if there's some significance to him swimming and crying in his sleep. The Rain Mushi, Uko. When they play this song, you know some shit's happening. Fair enough. It's just the water cycle. I see. Oh. Yeah, I think he's just a fish boy now. Flash flood? But then I thought that it was a woman drowning in the start of the episode. Maybe I was incorrect there. Because it would make more sense if he drowned and then got inhabited. It's a cool shot. You know, I'm going to say it's well animated. Because it is. Huh. Where'd our boy go? He dreamt of being one of the fishes. This is super interesting. Because, is he trying to, like, follow that life cycle now? Yeah. And that's like, okay, break glass in case of... It's my last straw. Oh. Okay. Subsiding somewhat. Are they going to welcome him as a normal boy? Nah, still a bit of an outcast. He's different. Fuck that guy. Take a hike. He's a bit slow, but he got the spirit. My hands aren't that webbed either. Look, he's normal. We did it. Comes from the sky as well. They come from, well, anywhere else there's water, really. Mostly the sea. I frickin' love the water cycle. Oh, interesting. See, it's like a metaphor. That's pretty astute. I was about to make fun of it, but I actually like that metaphor quite a bit. As water takes on all these forms, as does life, as does humanity. Each of which is important in the cycle. Well, you got white hair. Little bow. You're welcome. Here's my question. We're not even halfway through the episode yet. Is 2 liters of water a lot? I guess it is. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we fly a little bit close to the sun. Interesting. Again, he has no memory of drowning. Didn't look like a boy drowning in the start of the episode. We'll see. Because this seems like mother and son, though, right? Holy fuck. Don't get any ideas now. I think he's getting some ideas now. Don't go swimming in the goddamn flood water. Like, that's no good. It's interesting timing, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking awesome. That's such a cool effect. Dude, what? Yeah, seriously, how are they doing that tree stuff? Got a feeling. We'll see. Holy fuck. Ginkgo, did we account for this, buddy? It seems like more than a flash flood. It's fucking cool. How artful is this sequence? Success? Question mark? Oh yeah, look at his eyes. Thoughts, Ginkgo? I think it did. I thought he looked different. Maybe not. His eyes kind of still have that same bend to them. It is quite funny after a flood saying you're thirsty. Yeah, I'd be suspicious too. Hang on. It sounded like the fucking life left his body. Whoa, he's turning into steam. He's turning into water vapor. That's not ideal, is it? What do you want me to do? Yeah, we lost. I must say they tricked me. Zigged where they should have zagged. He went up into the air. Whatever that means metaphorically, we'll never know. That's pretty depressing. So where does this leave us? So what does this mean? Months before he was born. Watch out for that fucking rock. I see. I see. Well, he's very cold, eh? He's trying to swim a little bit. I'm so sorry. Do they? Yeah, I mean, I got that part. I don't think it's anybody's fault. He's all of it. He got returned to the ether. It's pretty cheery. I guess we haven't had like a proper depressing one in a while. Yeah, even that, it bent kind of hopeful at the end, I guess you could say. I saw a few elements of it coming. I thought that we were going to, he was going to go back to the water, and I kind of foresaw that ending very much so. About her lamenting, the loss there. I guess I just didn't put together all the pieces of, the mother's backstory there. Beautiful soundtrack there at the end too. I believe we've used that song before. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, man. It's good though. It's a good episode. But I feel like shit. Hopefully next one's a little bit happier. Lightning's End. Sure. Join me for some Lightning's End upcoming very shortly. And there we have it. Lightning's End, episode 20 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 46 seconds on this one. Sync up accordingly with your own copy. Same old subs, picture in picture. Let's give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, Shiver. Right. I was all ready and locked in again. For being a couple of minutes longer, I don't feel like that episode really felt its length. The previous one, I mean. Had that really cool sequence in the middle of it with all the water. And just stayed its welcome enough, I thought. It was just long enough for me to like really feel the moment before moving back onto, characters talking, plot stuff. Well executed. So what was that episode? It was the one before the special. It just felt like it waited a little bit too far into like ridiculous slow pacing. Also, it's enhanced so much by the story and the ending. Loved it. I'll talk about it tomorrow or whenever I come back here. Lightning's End. Which end? Where the lightning is struck or where it is generated? If so, it'll be our second straight episode about like clouds. Like atmospheric stuff. Like I used to. Clouds. Storm rolling in. Oh my god, it's a Mushishi character. Lightning before the thunder. You want the lightning? Fair enough. Lightning is cool. I would often fall asleep to lightning. I know a lot of people do like the white noise, like rain, but I'll do lightning. Alright, someone's having a whinge. He's tied to a fucking tree? Did Mum tie him to a tree? Not during a lightning storm, too. That's crazy. Pause. Mum, what are you doing? Why do we want that to happen? Do we want that to happen? Is it punishment? Ginkgo, you gotta sort these sick, twisted fucks out. Oh, that's that tree. Yeah, okay. Yeah, trends tend to happen that way, yes. Mushi tree. Hello, Ginkgo. You know what we think about husbands in this show. Okay, no, they're being honest. Reki. What's Reki from? Seems pretty normal. Ooh, he's staticky. Well, he was tied to it the other day. Well, it's 3 times, mate. How does he keep... Anyway. Go on. Shoraishi. Uh-huh. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Belly button. Okay, so we just got to keep striking him with lightning and it'll disappear. Go on. Hold on, I'm lost. You're getting the umbilical cord? And why is everyone so fucking down tempo and like depressed? Ginkgo's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? So once again, she has his umbilical cord? Uh-huh. Why don't I believe you? Huh. A stalk? Well, we know what a stalk means, right? Oh. These episodes are crazy depressing. I mean, I wouldn't want to date him either. He seems kind of like a tool bag. Okay. I'm starting to put together why you tied him to a tree during a lightning storm. So is Dad just like out of town, or? This shit's crazy. Alright, a lot of things are starting to make sense. I like his character design a lot. It's like his hair's all stuck up. Like he got shocked by lightning. Alright, he's kind of cool. She doesn't seem to think so, though. Right. Pretty tough situation, chat. Wouldn't you like to know, Mushishi boy? He's also very high in that tree. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Feels like I'm chosen. I'd rather take the risk. And yeah, that part of it too. Okay, bye. If I was Ginkgo, I'd be like, you guys try to sort it out. Well, you didn't hold it in very high regard, clearly. Right. What are you theorizing? Do you think maybe it's a cry for help? Well, it's not fucking raining, is it? So buzz off. Yeah. Okay, weirdo. Thanks for the heads up. So this show has pretty backgrounds. Maybe once or twice. Seems to have a chance to test our hypothesis. So what I'm seeing here is that it's a cry for help. So he wants his mum to respond and say, get down from there and something, right? It's almost like a test that she hasn't passed as of yet. Okay. He's being like a magnet to help people. I thought it was a bit more emotional than that, but sure. I mean, it is. It shows that he's selfless. It shows that he cares about his family, even if he doesn't outright say it. He's coming, don't you worry. Ooh. Let's go to the meadow. Huh. Thanks for the coaching. Well, I don't think that that's the best idea in the world. Yeah. Good job, Shou. Oh, sick. Because, I mean, that's the exact opposite of the kids, like, what he was doing it all for, you know? Proof's in the pudding there now, right? And I mean, the overall point is it's the exact opposite of the show's thesis. He did. Okay, he's still fine. Uh-huh. Interesting. It's probably for the best. The fuck is that? Oh, it's okay. Gotcha. Fine. Okay. Shit. Why ain't that just bittersweet as well, you know? God. In a more straightforward show, you know the mom and the child just make up, right? Went in a different direction there. Very purposefully. Zigging where we should have zagged. Or should have is not the right term there. Where we normally would have zagged. Very good episode again. Depressing as hell. That's crazy. That line there is just maybe the way it had to go in this case. God, that's fucking, that's realistic. Okay, that one's crazy. That's a crazy episode. I actually like it a lot. I'm thinking out all the scenes now. I'm like, okay, well, shit. Makes a lot of sense. Another one of these episodes that just has like a great ending that brings it all together. So yeah, Depression City over here is yeah, population me. What do we have next? Mudgrass. Whatever you say. Yeah, you'll catch me for some analysis on those two, and probably a box of tissues if I'm honest as well. I don't know. When's the last time I got this depressed on the show? Probably Takapi. It's not good company to keep. You'll see me tomorrow. I'll talk about these episodes some more. And we're back. It's the next day. 2 more episodes in the book. I'm depressed. They were depressing. And one thing to note before I jump into what I have on screen here, or over this side, there's a heat wave. It's going to be hot. I'm going to be sweaty. I'm going to be okay. Just thought I'll get that out of the way so people, again, don't think I'm dying. But yeah, you've probably seen it. There's a series graph over there that I'm looking at right now for, it says season 1, it's season 2 of the show. I had a look at season 1's as well. You've got some obvious high highs there. One-Eyed Fish, very good episode. I'm in agreement there. And I just thought this would be a little bit of fun to look at because I've got the feeling that the show's gotten at least a little bit better since maybe this middle point. We really didn't like Hidden Cove. I thought that one was okay. It was just like kind of like get off your phone type technology. I thought it was a decent episode. But just, yeah, in a couple of weeks when I do my rankings, it's fun to get a little bit of a consensus. Even again, all the caveats in the world, it's IMDb, blah, 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 blah. People are morons. We know that. I guess it is to say I was impressed by both the episodes here today, and I just wanted to check up on how well they were being considered relative to the rest of the show. And they're in the pack, for sure. I would say I prefer Lightning's End to Azure Waters, but both are, you know, pretty equally impactful, I would say. But yeah, do you think I should start incorporating some of this stuff into the channel a little bit more? I just think it's fun to look at a little bit of consensus and base things off of that and getting a little bit more granular than, you know, Mal, which only really has that one rating for the show proper. I think they have episode ratings, but who fucking knows? Who cares? Another one which I looked at just for fun, because I love Utana. You people are mental. There's no episode of Utana that's less than like an 8. I don't even know what this one was. What's Nanami's Secret Diary? I honestly forget that episode. Something about Mitsuru, apparently. Sure. And I know this isn't an Utana video, but I just wanted to say, like, that's criminally low. That's one of the best episodes in the show, as is this one. I know it's creepy, but it's a good episode. Oh, the whole Black Rose arc? Like, what do we... Anyway. I wish I had this when I did Utana, because I would do a deep dive into how people are fucking morons. Anyway, I'm having fun over here. I don't know about you. It's putting me in a good mood before I'm going to be in a probably not so good mood here in a second. But yeah, show good. The unifying thing between the 2 episodes, I would say, is kind of parental relationships, specifically mother and son. In both cases here, the relationships there couldn't really be mended, I guess you would say. Obviously for very different reasons there. Episode 19 here a little bit more about a tragedy and in the wake of that, and I guess perspective and looking at, you know, should I look at this from the perspective of me being cursed that, you know, he didn't have a normal life and we weren't, you know, he wasn't long for this world and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff? Or should I look at it from the opposite perspective of, you know, being happy and, like, considering myself lucky that he even had a life at all? Was the Mushi there a curse, or was it a gift, you know? Obviously, again, Ginkgo's framing it a little bit more as a gift, right? You two would not have survived, mother and child, if it wasn't for this Mushi and their interference, which is, I think, that kind of hopeful note we end the episode on. Obviously, again, linking into all that kind of water cycle talk we had throughout the rest of it. Just again, whenever I participate in this natural process, I'm thinking of my son, you know. Quite beautiful, obviously. I think a lot of the meat of the discussion will happen in that second episode, which is a little more morally grey on things. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and I wish I just said it back then, but I feel like, remember that episode, The Wind Razor, and I didn't really like it. I thought it was a little bit cheap, and I didn't really like the dynamic between the characters at all, and the main character sucks. I don't like that guy. I feel like this episode, Lightning's End, is like a better version of that, of a fraught relationship between mother and son, and them not exactly getting what they want from each other, and them departing. I feel like it's a way more mature look. I feel like the character motives are all there. It actually makes me sympathize for both the mother and the son in this case. I can see both of their respective plights. Do a lot of arranged marriage stuff in this show too. I guess it was a cultural thing at the time. Yeah, very, very, very good episode. I would imagine, again, when I bring up that tier list, I'll put Lightning's End quite high. But yeah, let's dive back through here. We'll see what we can see. Loving the show. I think it's great. We start the episode here. What was this one called again? Azure Waters. With a little bit of unconventional stuff. You know, we just get a scene first up without an opening or anything of a woman drowning, sinking down lower and lower and lower into the water before cutting to black. So an astute viewer will keep that in their head. They'll be like, okay, woman drowned. What does that mean for everything else going on? And yeah, it kind of kept in the back of my mind as the episode rolled on. I do think they do a good job of obfuscating it, if I could say that word, because we see her here. Where's a good look at her? She has long hair. Specifically, the mother in this episode does not have long hair. It's just enough so you don't immediately go, oh, it was the mother and she survived, and you put all the pieces together there. Then we immediately see our good friend Ginkgo. He's just getting some water, doing what he does at the river bank, and he sees a boy that he remarks is quite a good swimmer. This, of course, gets his Mushishi brain working, and he thinks about a few things. It's like, okay, that's one of the symptoms. Tick. I guess he's just got a knack for looking for something that's a little bit unnatural. I really like the shots of him just under the water where you can see his shadow. When we see the Mushi a little bit later on, it's very similar there. It talks to that connection between the two, you know. When the boy goes to get out of the water, he starts coughing and spluttering, courtesy of Ginkgo and his smoke. Boo, we hate smokers. Go to the smokers section, Ginkgo. What are you doing? Ginkgo there helps him, notices that his skin is unnaturally cold. Another tick. Another one of the symptoms, you know. That's when the mother rolls around and is immediately very protective of Yuta, who is her son. And yeah, Yuta's a little bit of a cutie patootie as well. He's just been out here getting fish for dinner and stuff. He seems to enjoy his time in the water. Very soft-spoken, very slow to speak. Once again, another tick of the symptoms. But yeah, I immediately buy the relationship between these two characters. It's a mother that clearly cares deeply for his son. Once again, as I like to do with this show, I like to relate it to real life. Surely you've seen, you know, situations of a son that doesn't quite fit in and is a little bit just off-center, just, you know, not exactly like everybody else, and mum's very protective of him. It's a dynamic that I've seen in real life many times that is displayed well on screen here. Ginkgo's really just prying a little bit, just asking a few questions. He strongly suspects Mushi interference here, but look at mum. The troubling look, just covering the son, slightly protecting him, just unsure where this is all going to go. I feel like we bury the lead here too. The rest of the symptoms can probably be explained away. Good swimmer, cold to touch, slow to speak. He's got fucking webbed fingers. He's a mutant. Somebody save him. Nah, point being, I would have led with that. That one's pretty out there. Ginkgo appeals to the mother here by saying that, you know, I'm sure you've noticed that your son isn't quite fitting in with everybody else. You know, due to all the factors that we've listed, he's just not normal. You guys have seen society. If people aren't normal, we just don't include them, and it sucks. So again, if I have some medicine as a Mushishi that can assist him in that, surely that appeals to the mother and makes her want to at least take a chance on it. This is a wonderful setup. I love when he's sleeping, he's still kind of swimming through the air. It's something that comes up immediately after childbirth during the episode's climax, where, again, it looks like he's cold to touch, and maybe, again, it's a stillbirth type situation, and he starts swimming through the air. Just something that he's always done. It's been this kind of integral thing to him living and his life up to now. You know, I guess another symptom there must be the tears falling sideways, because Ginkgo is startled by it and then immediately confirms that it's the Uko or the Rain Mushi. I guess you could say he's crying out that essence, right? Because it follows the life cycle of the Uko. And long story short, because we go into it in quite a bit of detail here, it's basically just the water cycle. They intermingle in the rain, they hit the ground, go into valleys, turn into rivers, they kind of coalesce into these kind of fish-shaped creatures as they go through the river, as we could see there, make their way back down to the ocean to reproduce. That's kind of what the tears are doing there. They're rolling down his face, probably going downhill, doing what they're naturally supposed to do and get into those river systems. However, some of the uko may coalesce in places as they cannot flow, get a little bit lost from the rest of the pack. Now these uko that are left behind, they stick together and normally take up residence in some kind of larger creature, maybe a large salamander of sorts, and in extremely rare cases, even half-drowned humans may become hosts. And again, she knows the law, right? Because she's like, fuck, I know somebody that half-drowned. I know my own backstory. Shit, it's probably me. Like, this worried look is that she now feels somewhat responsible for the condition of her own son and what happened there during that tragic day. You know, husband's death notwithstanding as well. It was pretty bad. Ginkgo here also comments that the uko can be removed from humans. They sometimes leave their hosts to try to ride the flood's turbulent waters and reach the sea. It's kind of during a flash flood or some other equivalent, we can probably coax it out of him. Now, she wasn't entirely honest with Ginkgo here. That uko has been explicitly tied to him before he was born. Like, crazy before he was born. Like, she was very, very, very early pregnancy when this all occurred, right? So, like, it's tied to him. If we remove the uko from him, he's also just gonna die. Which is, again, what we see happen. I don't know, I would have explained it to Ginkgo. You know, he seems like he knows what he's talking about. So, how do you think we interpret this dream sequence in the middle of the episode, chat, where our good friend Yuta, I think it was Yuta, kind of swims up from, like, way below the surface, up to the surface, and, you know, wakes up in that process? I've got two different interpretations, one more literal and one a little bit more cerebral. The literal one is this is his earliest memory, or the uko's earliest memory, of, again, inhabiting a half-drowned human and coming back up to the surface. It is a shared memory between the mother and the son, and the kind of mushi that unites them. Now, the other interpretation would be that his dream state, when he's, you know, at his most calm, deep within his conscience, where he's supposed to be, is underwater. You could see it as a setup for later on, when that is stripped from him, that he just ceases to be. If part of me is to return to the water deep down below, then I will never return to the surface either. Something like that. It's also clearly the inspiration behind these, you know, sleep swimming things that he has going on, right? Deep within his own consciousness, he's like drawn to the water and to swim downstream. Just shows how tightly knit the mushi is with him, you know? This is also character motivation for the mother, you know? I may not trust Ginkgo, really. It might be a little bit appalled at what he's explaining to me at the moment, even if he has the best intentions. But if, you know, if it's the best for him, if he's going to keep going down this route as he grows older and older, then maybe we do need to go for some drastic measures. I guess it talks to the inevitability as well. You could look at the ending, maybe as well, and be like, well, shit, if they didn't go through with this, he would have lived this happy, fruitful life. This element of the plot means that no, eventually this would have happened regardless if he was in this human form or if the uko got stripped from him. Overnight, it's heavily implied that the mother administered the medicine that Ginkgo gave her, so he should start to be, you know, lessen all those symptoms that we listed in the first part of the episode, basically. From there, we probably get to the next biggest, you know, metaphor, allegory for the episode, which is all the different forms of water and every stage in, you know, scientifically it can be, and how they are all one and the same. Every single time we see this liquid, it is made up of the same things. We are making a relation between water as a concept and humanity, as we are all different in different stages of our life and different stages of the cycle and all these other things. We are all still human. We are all still one and the same. We should be treated accordingly. It's this wonderful metaphor for life. You know, water's so integral for it, for everything on planet Earth at least. Like, the trees need water, animals needed to drink, and, you know, everything needs water, you know? We're all made with, I'm fucking however many % water. It really enhances that ending where it's like, whenever I see another living thing around me, whether it's rivers or the ocean or rain or trees or people or animals, or there could be a little bit of Yuta in there. right? It's all kind of intermingled and interlinked like that. I feel like that stuff's pretty strong. I'd say these friend characters here are pretty surface level in getting that across, but they are functional. Once again, this almost feels like an episode that could have been a little bit longer to further expand upon these concepts. We kind of just barely touched the surface here, but it's a good surface to be touching. We also tackle prejudice there a little bit as well. Essentially stuff that would stop these two metaphors kind of intermingling, right? We thought that you were cold to the touch, but no, you're quite human. You're actually normal. I don't know who told me that rumor. You're chill, water kid. We have a quiet moment here that night where Mum explains the water cycle, essentially. These lines will come back at the end of the episode and hit very hard because of what happens during the ending. And again, it's this really hopeful, optimistic look from the mother about how she can interpret her own memory of Yuta into the future. Like, oh shit, there was actually some poetry to what I was saying there and something quite significant. It's my own little mantra that makes this whole encounter feel a little bit better. Hitting the nail on the head here too. The sea, the river, the rain, the clouds, all the same thing. Yeah, the same way that I'm the same thing as you, your friends are the same thing as you, we're all the same thing. This one, it really, it fucking rips your heart out, doesn't it? Just this one part here, where she just pulls him close. He doesn't understand the significance, obviously, but she's feeling a whole lot of emotions right now. It's her husband's death, it's the thing that happened to you, it's her relief at you finally integrating yourself into society in a bit more of a normal way, it's the water's significance in all of that. It's just touching. Again, makes the end of the episode heartbreaking. Small bit of comedy here too. I like Ginkgo getting offended at the kid calling him Oji-san. I think it's the white hair. The white hair's not doing you any favors. As I've said before, I think Ginkgo's probably in his 30s, I would say. Early 30s, maybe? That's kind of the vibe I get from him. But to some kid, you know, who probably hasn't seen that many other people, you may see Ginkgo is a little bit older than that. I know, I like him getting all offended and stuff, and when we cut some of the detail in the faces, makes me laugh. Ginkgo is able to meet with the mother here again, who thanks Ginkgo basically, and says, hey, you did a good job. My son, he's a little bit more normal now, great to see. She asks for more medicine. Ginkgo's like, it's about as well as you can probably hope to do with the medicine without outright removing the mushi itself. He then goes on to say that in most human cases, it's been fine to remove it and the human after that has been fine. But in the case of some salamanders, they have kind of disintegrated into water and become one with it, that kind of mushi taking hold a little bit more. Once again, if it's a pull and a push between, you know, the human side and the mushi side, that's the mushi side ultimately winning out. As I've said before as well, he was barely even a fetus when the mushi took control. So, like, you know, it's probably not going to end well. I'm not surprised at the result based on what I now know. Either way, Mum asks for a little bit more medicine. You know, we can't really rely on that whole flash flood thing, so we'll see what happens. This right here is alarm bells for Ginkgo. So Yuta comes up to him and says, hey, when are you going to be back? He's like, oh yeah, a little bit. I'll be back, basically. Now don't you drown in the meantime. He's like, I never drowned. And he's right. He didn't ever drown. It was Mum. Mum's the one that drowned. And Ginkgo thinks he's lying? I don't think Yuta, in his current state, has the capacity for lying. I think he's a pretty straightforward little kid. Now, one thing I'm maybe a little bit, just a touch, critical of, I want another shot just here or something before this flood starts that kind of demonstrates that time has passed a little bit more. Because there is some time that has passed. Ginkgo did leave and now comes back upon hearing that, you know, there's a large amount of rain about to hit this region. He's like, oh shit, that probably means flash flood. This is now or never if we want to do this thing, basically. Because I don't know about you, shit, probably floods here where I am? Once every 3 years or so? Something like that? Basically, if I don't do it now, there's going to be a big delay. It could be even more fickle wherever they are. And obviously for Yuta's symptoms as well, it only exacerbates things. If he sees a large rushing flow of water down the river towards the ocean, that kind of instinct within him is just going to activate even more. You know that tendency that he has of a night to go into the water and sleep swim and do all that other kind of stuff? Don't do that in flood water. Now, how are we doing this? How are we doing this? Not random. I want E for next frame. Yeah, okay, a lot of frames there. But there was some shaking of the tree back and forth that I can't quite see now. Was that an illusion, or is it just lighting? Is that how we're doing that? Because the tree's not really moving there. Let's go back to the beginning there. Yeah, the tree's not moving at all. It's a lighting effect on top of the frame that's giving it that kind of motion. Like a tree would be swaying during a storm. Let me just try and play a little bit of it just for you here, so you can see what I mean. Just see how it looks like the tree is moving. I don't know if I'm frame by framing that weird, because it certainly looks like there's motion there. Yeah, I'm a little bit thrown off by that. I don't know what to say. Yeah, if we have any animation dorks in the audience, I'd love to know how they're doing that. It's a really, really interesting effect that I've scarcely seen anywhere else. Anyway, plot stuff. Ginkgo's back. He heard there was going to be floods. It's fortuitous that he stopped Yuta going into the water. Yeah, there's another example there. Stumped. I'm sorry, this is probably mad annoying, but I'm gonna have another look. Nah, there's more motion there now, is there? Yeah, there's some motion for sure. Okay, maybe I was incorrect initially. Truly think it's a fabulous effect, once again. There's some interesting lines from the mother there, right? We're going to attempt to do this and extract this thing from you so you'll be able to integrate with the rest of society and the villagers will accept you and so forth. This is where I think an element of the episode is crucial. It's crucial that we basically see that the situation is untenable up to this point. Like, he will probably disappear into the river and go down that track if not treated. He'll probably continue to be a loner and an outcast from the village if this is not treated. It makes it seem necessary to me that we do try this step. Otherwise, it could be seen as the mother putting the child's life at risk just for some arbitrary social acceptance. I think we're a bit smarter than that, which is good. Yuta remarks that he must go. Of course, every instinct within him wants to go with the flow right now. Like, that's that Mushi. But Mum's holding him close. Absolutely not. I'm not letting you go. Here's another one. 2 episodes in a row where we tie a child to a tree. Bit of a weird connection, but sure, we'll take it. That, as well as this is a storm. We have storms next episode too. They're pretty linked in my view. And this is that good stuff, right? This is like those dreams from Yuta early in the episode where he's coming up from the surface. Kind of the flow of the water and the river is so integral to his being that during this moment, during this storm, we have this kind of quiet montage of the rushing water and everywhere that it goes. I don't know, it kind of almost resists hard confirmations on analysis and everything. It's a lot more about feel. It's such an evocative moment in the middle of the episode. So chaotic and calming. Just brilliance. It is brilliance. I feel like it super enhances the finale, where again she finds solace in the water cycle and that Yuta is essentially everywhere at once. I can look out there and see his legacy and interpret life itself as being part of Yuta's responsibility. There's a particular shot here as well that I loved. It was a few things rolling down the river, just like, stuff getting taken by the flood, if I could find it. Yeah, just there, you can kind of see it. That, to me, is almost like that human side of Yuta being washed away as well, downriver. Like, hey, these things that kind of, literally tied me to this side, they're getting washed away too, as this Uko is disappearing from me. And there's the money shot. In the middle of it all, in the middle of the montage, Mum's still there holding him tight. Just, like, think about everything she's gone through, and then to still, like, have this moment, and to, like, cherish him. It's goddamn beautiful, this show, man. Like, holy shit. Depressing, though. Like, fuck, man. It's actually quite astoundingly emotional for an episodic show, for a character that I've had investment in for, 16 minutes? Not even, 15? Crazy. And then, yeah, from there, the storm passing, the destruction in its wake, things calming down more and more and more as Yuta awakes from his slumber. He was able to sleep through that. That's kind of crazy. Now, here in the episode, I thought that we were winning. I looked at his eyes and potentially saw them as a little bit less droopy. So I thought that, again, that showed some significant change, that the Mushi had been drawn from him. And I think here's where a weaker episode would give us a happy ending. Yuta would be fine. mum and child would live the rest of their days normally. But I feel like we go for something way more poignant and poetic here by the very end. I'm really happy. I'm one for a happy ending, for sure. If you are going to do a sad ending, it needs to have significance. And I feel like we pay off on that in a big way. Fabulous episode. Now, question, chat room. Did the Uko leave him? Because, I don't know, I don't think it ultimately matters too much. It's semantics, but he's thirsty in the wake of the flood, which is a symptom. It's an indicator that the Uko's still there. Would him disintegrating here in a moment be another indicator that the Uko is still there and it fully integrated within him? Because my interpretation is that the Uko left and then his constitution as a human wasn't enough to sustain him, and then he just turned into water, basically. Once again, not sure it really matters. It's just down to whatever you think happened. I'm not sure that the Uko is ever really going to come up again. Either way, upon his request, we were carrying him up to the mountain to the well to get him some fresh water to drink. That's when he starts burning up. Now, this to me would be another indicator that the Uko has left. Association with the Uko is that somebody's skin is cold to touch. What would it mean if it was to go? He would be overly warm. He would be burning up. This is also clearly a reference to the water cycle once again, and basically evaporation. Like, if he's basically the same as water now, and we're out here in the sun in the wake of the storm, he's basically just going to evaporate and become rain, you know? Like, it's just what the Mushi does. And yeah, I mean, that sucks, man. That sucks. That sucks bad. You just watched your kid turn into fucking steam. Just emotionally devastating. For sure, for sure. Something about her grasping at the clothes too, and the utter disbelief at it. It's goddamn, man. This shot's here, another one that gets me, man, as well. Like, 2 beds, waking up the next day in the wake of everything, hand out, just touching where he used to be. God damn it, man. As we replay this dialogue from the middle of the episode about the water cycle, it kind of reverberating in her head, one of those last encounters that I really had with him as well. Coming to terms with him becoming steam, turning into steam, coming to terms with, because she knows what happened basically now as well, because she knows some backstory stuff that she will now reveal. Like, it's all just churning away in there, pardon the pun. It's that good shit, you know? The backstory in question I've kind of already gone into. I guess another question mark over the episode is, where is Dad? So it happened about 10 months before he was born. Now, hand up. I don't know a lot about pregnancy, but I always thought it was 9, chat. Because if the drowning incident happened... What is it from conception to birth? Like, how long is that? Computer says 280 days, 9.2 months. I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell is going on. But yeah, just once more for the audience. Boat capsizes, Dad dies, Mum dies as well, but is saved by the Uko Mushi. After that point, she found that she was with his child. Baby is born, baby is ice cold. We think that it's all over, basically, and then he starts waking up. Look at him swimming. It's his first instinct. Probably a pretty good indicator of the connection between the Mushi and the human here. Like, pretty integral to each other. If you try to remove one from the other, they're gonna get out of here. You know what this almost reminds me of as well? That freaking Plant Kid episode where Mom was just happy to have a kid and Dad was really sketchy about it. It's kind of very similar here, where it's like, I know he's kind of like a weirdo freak and everybody doesn't really like him very much, but he's my boy. And then again, adding to that character motive of trying everything within her power to integrate him into society and to have a normal life after this. And then, yeah, this is where we flip it. Do you look at it like his life was cut short, or do you look at it like he was lucky to have any life at all? The only reason that you were able to survive was that the Uko saved you. So you have it to thank for your own life as well as the short time that you had with your son. He did live, he was able to live, he had a good life. Little montage here at the end, the rain pouring down. Whenever I see this whole process happen again, I'll think of him. Just another fantastic ending, man. I'm getting all emotional just thinking about it once again. It's crazy. And I think for the second time in as many weeks, maybe think of Violet Evergarden. Again, that episode 10 there, just looking out beyond and thinking about somebody's like love coming to you. Like, even beyond death and whatever's next after that, I could still look to other factors of life and see them, like, within it. They may not be here physically anymore, but in another way, they're always here. Even bit of a love heart shape in the leaf here too, if you wanted to be so crazy about it. Just yeah. Come on, yeah. Good episode. Now, Lightning's End. The depression doesn't stop. So we are introduced here to another child. I believe his name is Reki. And I finally remembered, chat. It was, of course, our good friend Reki from Hi Bunny Renmei. That's where I recognized that name. Shoutouts Hi Bunny Renmei. Shoutouts to this character in particular. Very integral to the second half of that show, which is just, like, super emotional. Good show. Recommended. But yeah, we start here with some narration, which is basically him finding calmness within the storm and calling lightning towards his direction, hearing that thunder as that indicator that lightning's in the area, and then that, prompting him to do what he does. So, spoilers for the rest of the episode, we discover that Reki's doing this for a specific purpose. He's doing this to assist his family more than anything else. It's the mother's interpretation that is a little bit more sinister here, that, he's doing this to spite her and that decision that she made when he was very young. The child itself, despite not holding any great affections for his mother either, still does something to ultimately sacrifice for her. Hey, if I have this ability to draw lightning towards me, I'm going to take it. I'm going to stand in the corner of the yard away from the rest of the house and try my best to protect you guys. This, of course, is displayed best during the very end, where Mum is faux committing suicide by holding on to, Reki, who's basically this lightning magnet, and he pushes her away. He doesn't let her get struck by lightning. If he really detested her that much, he would have held on. It's this great metaphor, right? Like embracing Mom. That's normally this display of love, right? I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to push her away, and in doing so, I save her. Isn't that a perfect metaphor for the ending as well? That the two ultimately have to part to continue on with each other. And in parting, it's almost like a show of love. See how fucking cool this episode is? See how fucking awesome it... Yeah. Shoutouts Mushishi, man. Holy shit. Once again, Mushishi's a show. Loves a flash forward to late in the episode before we flash back and get all the context. Like here we basically just see Kid crying. It looks like he's been tied to the tree. Another indicator would be the transition point between looking at this tree here, that one there, and the one before. Like, okay, this is after the fact. It's been struck by lightning. This is before any of that has happened. And like, holy shit, this is dark. Like, holy fuck. Spoilers for the rest of the episode? I should say, like, the whole point here is the mystery too. Why did Mum tie her fucking kid to the tree? Where's the Mushi involved here? Why is she turning such a blind eye to his, like, screams of agony, essentially? I don't know, it creates a sense of mystery, it gets you intrigued, it's a hook, it makes you want to watch. So when I say, hey, now I know what's going on, in the episode I didn't know what was going on, and that was great too. But yeah, I mean, she detests the kid. She never wanted to have a child with this man, she never wanted to be married to him. She's been forced into this role from her family, from her own mother, probably gives her some complicated feelings about motherhood as well. Once again, not justifying any of it, but there's still a reason. Like, I don't know. I get it. But I don't get it. I would never kill my own son, but I get it. I guess. Once again, comparative piece to that episode Wind Raiser. The mom's underdeveloped. I just think that she's kind of annoying as like a stepmother type character, not his biological mother. And then I think he's underdeveloped too because he's a very brash character that isn't very selfless. Compared again to here, Lightning's End, Reki's great, the mother's great. I understand both of their plights and struggles. It's a better display of a turbulent relationship between mother and son. Now we get into the Ginkgo side of the episode. Basically, I feel like this tree has a little bit of notoriety as being the one that gets struck by lightning a lot. He's already thinking Mushi because he knows about that specific Mushi that draws forth that lightning. He probably thinks the tree's just been infested and that they would be happy to get rid of the Mushi that's infesting it. What he doesn't account for is the human involvement there, that the son's involved. Once again, instead of a tree being a host for that Mushi, it is a human. It's kind of similar to last episode as well. It's just unexpected that this is happening to a human, basically. And that's when Ginkgo starts to notice some things are off. Like, she's very cagey about this tree and the lightning and stuff, and isn't jumping at the opportunity to get somebody to look at it. This show lives and dies on the moments too, man. I love this look from the mother here as Ginkgo just, I don't know, he's just like a handyman, basically. He's like, do you want me to just have a look as a Mushishi? But she knows shit. She knows what she did to her son. She knows what investigating the lightning in the tree will lead to. She also knows that the sun's been struck multiple times. Surely she must think that all these factors are a little bit shifty, and should they involve another person here? Just, yeah, some of the mannerisms and this specific shot just creates such a doubt that permeates the rest of the episode. It's just wonderful. Don't shout out the direction enough. It's a very, very well directed show as well. I'd imagine, again, adapting very closely to that manga. Manga must be great too. Like, I'm glazing today. Ginkgo goes out to the tree to have a look. And here's another really fun one too. The wife there, I must grab her name. She can only get permission to do this if she gets her husband's approval first, right? To let you inside and to have a look. I think that speaks volumes about the marriage and the level of respect there, and why she probably doesn't like her husband very much. Like, that's just fucking weird. You know, that she has to go get permission there. I don't know, just, it doesn't seem like a very loving marriage from the outset. Either way, Ginkgo checks tree, no Mushi in tree. Has anybody in your family been struck by lightning multiple times? Our son Reki certainly has. And then Ginkgo, in a very non-creepy way, says, would you mind showing me your abdomen? So normally this Mushi would hide in a tree. Trees normally have little fucking alcoves or hollowings or something. It'd probably live in there. What's that equivalent to a human? Probably a belly button. Let's go have a look. Now, I don't want to shoot my load too early. Pause on this particular point. But lots and lots and lots of, like pregnancy symbolism, mother symbolism, like connection between child and mother symbolism within this. Like the Mushi itself, representative of that kind of umbilical cord that we also use within the narrative, like looks very similar there. Operates as well very metaphorically in that same way as it, you know, goes off into the sky. It almost feels like the chains have been lifted as well. We are able to separate and become our own separate people. There's that weight lifted off of us in that similar way. It almost feels like Reki himself coming to terms with almost being a parent within himself too. Like there's something there, like understanding his mother's side of things, and that sometimes we must let these things go. He like lets that Mushi go off up into the sky and ascend. In that same way, mother's letting him go and become his own man as well. There's lots within that for analysis. We now get into Mushi Explain Hour with the Shoraishi Mushi, the lightning summoner. As always, loving the ecology here. We have a genuine attempt every single time at figuring out how this thing actually works, what it feeds on, how it reproduces. This one here lives up in the clouds and consumes lightning, basically. Sometimes this particular Mushi as well, its larvae, right, another parent-child connection, falls to the surface when the lightning strikes. So there's such a poetry there already. That's that moment where he's tied to the tree. Mum's almost trying to discard her own son there, to kill him essentially, to murder him. At that same point, the larvae of this Mushi has descended from the sky. Like both of these children that have basically been trying, like pushed out by their mothers, essentially. Like united at that time, together. Yeah. Because now there's this part where like Reki feels a responsibility to harvest lightning for this Mushi as well. Like that's like parent-child, you know? Once again, he almost like becomes its surrogate. And also with Reki too, most people that are inflicted with this condition, they now draw more lightning. That's like a metaphor for so very long for being unlucky. Like, because I've been infested with this thing, now I'm just going to get hit by lightning? That's a raw deal. Does it not remind you of another character in the narrative right now that may have been infested with a thing that they want to get rid of without their consent or control? I don't know. The mother must be able to relate to this plight on some level, you would say. That I feel like I'm cursed and I'm perpetually trapped until this thing eventually emerges as an adult, right? Like, that's so much fucking levels to this episode, man. It's crazy. It's a small thing too. Really like her character design Just something about this. It's doing a lot for me. I like it. I've just aesthetically pleasing coconut head, looking like Rock Lee. But I feel like it fits her temperament as well. I look at her and I look at him and I don't feel like that would be a good pairing. Like, yeah, they do wonders in the character design department here for sure. Genko suggests a couple of things that are pretty self-explanatory. Well, actually one of them isn't very self-explanatory, but we'll get there. Hey, why don't you just go into the cellar every time there's a storm? Well, Reki refuses, probably because he has a different motivation there. The next one would be to remove the Mushi from him by making an infusion out of his umbilical cord. And this here is the connection that I was missing. In Japan, it is a deeply rooted tradition to preserve a baby's umbilical cord, heso no o, which is dried and kept in a specially designed, often, paolonia? Wood box called a kotobuki bako. This is the cultural disconnect. I'm like, who the fuck would keep an umbilical cord? That's who the fuck would keep an umbilical cord. Gotcha. Seems to me like a very traditional thing. Like, I don't know if it's got much traction these days, but sure. So now that I understand, I can now just focus on the metaphor of it, which is her unable to find that umbilical cord almost on purpose. It symbolizes her disconnect from her son. She doesn't want to be associated with him. She almost hates him. Like, why would I preserve this thing, this memento of this person that I despise, that is representative of this connection with my husband that I despise? Seems like an easy thing to do from Ginko's perspective, but, you know, he doesn't know their lives. Like, again, contrasted with the mother from last episode, right, who... I would imagine if that umbilical cord was preserved, she would know exactly where it is at all times. And Ginko's just watching along at the drama, like, husband's obviously concerned for his son's life, disappointed in my wife for missing the umbilical cord. The son doesn't even seem to care. He seems very nonchalant about the whole thing. And Ginko's just watching along like, what the fuck is happening with this family, you know? Small thing too, love Reki's character design. Just the spiky hair, it's very evocative of the lightning that keeps striking him. I feel like that's very well done. When was the last time we had like a good dad in Mushishi? It's been a while. I'll need to go back and look. They've had a bad run recently. This guy sucks. He basically seems like the bad guy in one of them rom-coms. The guy that you don't want the girl to end up with, basically. He's just boring, and he's obsessed with work. You could read into it a little bit as well. He's in this kind of well-to-do house. It means that the daughter was arranged to marry him for monetary reasons, that the mum really didn't care about her well-being. I don't know, this is like the rom-com bad ending, basically. That's what we're seeing right now. Ginko asks a interesting question here. Is the mother and son related by blood? He says, yeah, of course they are. Ginko thinks that must be the only explanation for why they are acting the way they are to each other, right? No, it's deeper than that, you know. Once again, contrasting with Wind Razor, where that was actually the problem, where the mother and son weren't blood related. Now, this is a fucking scene. This is a fucking moment. We have the wife here, or the mother. Well, I should probably find a name for her in a moment too. Shino, thank you. And thank you, VLC, for being annoying. So Shino, upon looking for this umbilical cord, sees this kimono, right? And this takes her down memory lane. This is the kimono that she was wearing, that she was to wear when she was to wed her husband, right? Love the symbolism of the stork here as well. It's childbirth, it's motherhood, it's everything within it, you know. Okasan, I don't want to go through with this arranged marriage. Turn in the cold shoulder. Basically, I'm not going to let you wiggle your way out of this. I'm going to force you into this marriage to a man that you don't love. This is reminding me of something else as well. What's another show where... Apothecary Diaries? It's something like that. Just this idea of, like, pregnancy and pregnancy from an unwanted partner is... Like, there's such a disgusting, like, depiction of it. Like this loveless child that I'm being used for my biological function rather than my desires as a human. It's very dehumanizing. Yeah, it makes me feel all icky. I don't like it. Of course, getting very cheery here with the first of 2 suicide attempts this episode. Very cool. So again, she's with child. She tries to kill herself because she doesn't want to have it. In the wake of that, she's sure that she won't love the child. It's part of that, like, postnatal depression stuff as well. She's just like, I fucking hate this kid. It's whining, it's crying all fucking day, and I never wanted to have it. The crying there, linking the two scenes to the scene that we have already seen, if that makes any sense, to where he is tied to the tree. Like, hey, if you won't let me kill myself and my baby, basically, then I'm just gonna kill the baby. Like, I don't know, he's probably, what, 5 here, maybe? Let's tie him to the fucking tree. I've had enough of his shit. It is fucking craziness, though. Like, I don't know. There's something almost, like, comical about the murder attempt. Like, tie him to a tree and let lightning hit the tree. It gets the plot going, but it is it's out there, for sure. Now, she looked shocked here. Maybe she isn't trying to fucking kill him, per se. But she's just, like, sick of his shit, so I tied him to a tree during a storm. I don't know. Like, there. Like, oh my god, I didn't actually expect lightning to strike him. Like, maybe it's less premeditated than I thought. I guess from there, then it becomes like, okay, I'm guilty about what I've done to my child as well. I never meant for him to get struck by lightning like this. Now, again, it feels like he's judging me. He's looking down upon me from the tree, reminding me of that day and what I did to him as kind of punishment, you know? Like he's like holding it over me, refusing to come inside when cold, that it's not safe up there. Like, hey, look at your sins of the past. Look what you did to me previously. I'm gonna let it keep happening to me, you know? By the end of the episode, we flip it. He's doing this for positive reasons. He's doing this to save you. From your perspective, it may look like this like divine judgment, but it's more personable than that. If I can be the lightning magnet for you and draw it away from the house, that's what I'm gonna do. For the record, kid's pretty chill. He's up here on his tree again, looking out for lightning clouds, getting kind of pressed by Ginkgo here a little bit for info. Like, he's always up in that tree, even when it's not storming. Like, looking for lightning clouds and stuff. He's our own little weatherman. Like, you're like, okay, well, he's not doing that for specifically spiteful reasons all the time. Like, there's gotta be a method to the madness. Why don't you try to run away from the lightning? Aren't you scared? Well, yeah, I am, but I like it. I just think there's such a strong line of analysis through this episode of looking at him as a parent for this Mushi. Just the idea of self-sacrifice, of him being like, okay, I'm both sacrificing for my family right now. I'm out here in the storm absorbing the lightning, right? But also I'm sacrificing my own life and my own safety to continuously try to feed this Mushi within me that is sustained from lightning, you know? If anything, Reki here is the better parent than either of his, you know? He understands the selfless nature of all of it, and a way better parent than his grandmother, who was the least selfless of them all, you would say, you know? Like, he's I don't know. Reki here was also forced into a position whereby he has this thing inside him, right? Like this little Mushi guy. Mother is also forced into a position where she has a little guy inside of her as well, you know? Obviously, again, not entirely the same thing, but I see here one character taking it in their stride and another character that is struggling. Not blaming her, of course. She's in the worst situation possible. But still, there's a difference in philosophy, for sure. Like the lightning within his own metaphor would be the trials and tribulations of life, the struggles of being a parent. And again, he's the one that absorbs all that for his own mother, because his own mother has enough fucking shit going on within her own life that is affecting her. You know, she doesn't need lightning on top of everything else, you know. Just, the show's fucking heaps good. He also finds acceptance in the lightning. He doesn't feel the love from either of his parents, but the lightning always chooses him. That's definitely another kind of line of analysis too. Like, love is almost the same thing as this lightning. It's powerful, it's scary, but it also sustains, and I'm also appreciative of it coming towards me. We end the conversation with Reki there as well, saying that maybe it was better if he was never born, so he's definitely traumatized. He's definitely inherited some of that stuff as well, what the mum's saying about him. She's clearly lying here as well, as we go back to Shino, who says that, you know, I can't find the umbilical cord. I must have gotten careless and thrown it away somehow. I don't know. She does have it by the very end. It's just, you never felt like you should throw it away. There's something within that too. This gives us an opportunity to dig a little bit further into why Reki doesn't want the thing to be removed. Mum's analysis here is that he's doing it to punish me. That's why he always does it in front of me as well. Makes sure that the lightning strikes him as like a fuck you, basically. Like, he's looking down on me like that. That's my interpretation. And blaming herself as well. Why shouldn't he do that? I've been a terrible mother to him. I haven't shown any of real affection to him for his entire life. Why wouldn't he scorn me? Once again, this is another episode that doesn't take the easy way out. It doesn't let the mother and the son reunite by the very end. There's still something fundamental between them that is incompatible. And they're never going to have that type of relationship. But at least we end with more understanding, and them both going their separate ways with, wiping their hands of the whole thing, feeling better about things. Once again, it's that word, it's that bittersweet, Ginkgo sits down to ponder the situation. He comes to some astute realizations in the wake of this. This guy's fucking annoying. Ginkgo's like standing well away from this tree, right? Just having a look. Like sitting, right? Like, he's not near the tree or nothing. He's like, hey, watch that tree. It may get struck by lightning. Fucking, it's not raining, cunt. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I'd get mad annoyed. I fucking detest unsolicited advice from randos. Like, who are you? Fuck off. Either way, this whole thing, and a storm approaching, of course, has given Ginkgo some insight. And he's testing now. Now that we have a good opportunity to do this, now that some lightning's rolling through. Have you ever asked Reki why he waits for the lightning like he does up in that tree? Well, why would she ask if she already knows the answer? Well, you don't. You don't know the answer. Again, she assumes it's him punishing her for her decisions in the past and the lack of love that she's provided as a mother. But if anything, it is love. It is sacrifice. It is him putting his life before the rest of his family's. He knows that he's a magnet for this shit. And he knows that the lightning is drawn to this tree specifically as well. If I'm up here, I'm stopping every other tree from getting hit. I'm protecting the rest of the community too. I'm protecting the house. Like that tree, it's relatively far from your house. It's away from everything else. It's not going to hurt anybody if it gets struck. And yeah, this is shocking to her. She never for a moment expected her son to be loving, to reciprocate a love that doesn't exist. To be self-sacrificing for her. It takes her aback. It honestly probably makes her feel all the more guilty and leads to her actions during our finale. That rain starting to fall as she makes this realization is such a great touch as well. Like, there must be such this sadness within her. I feel like that's gotten across quite well through the use of pathetic fallacy. This is a little bit cumbersome plot-wise, but I guess I get it. Reki is somewhere else than he normally is in that tree because he feels like Ginkgo's onto him, like he's discovered him or something. So he's out here in the valley instead. I feel like that's just a little bit weird. I don't know why Reki's doing it in secret, I guess. I don't know. Guess he just doesn't trust Ginkgo. Either way, we're on our way down to the valley, but Mum isn't feeling it. Doesn't feel like she would be wanted. Doesn't feel like he would listen to her anyway. But Ginkgo reaffirms that it has to be you. You're the only one that can stop him. And here he is, standing in the field. Mum and Ginkgo approach, umbrellas in hand, which is probably already making him think some shit. What are umbrellas great for? Fucking conducting electricity. He's probably like, why the fuck are you two here during this storm holding umbrellas? It's basically the worst thing that you could have done. You're putting yourselves in danger right now and making me want to call that lightning down to me all the more. And this is that moment, man. Like, holy shit. Like, he's out here in the field. He's going to get struck by lightning, right? All you need to do as a mother is say that you don't want him to die. That you don't want his life to leave him right here at this juncture, to call out to him and stop him doing what he's doing. And she can't. She still detests him and what he represents. In my heart of hearts, I can't do it. I can't become that concerning mother for you. It's just not compatible with me. Which is where we leave the episode as well. That's what happens during the ending. They separate. Those tears falling in the rain as well. She gets rid of the umbrella too. Like, there's like, fuck, I can't even hold up appearances anymore. I'm just like tossing this to the ground. So again, this makes her feel like she's failed as a mother. Time to die, basically. I'm gonna hold on to Lightning Magnet Boy and try to get us both struck by lightning so that I can pass. So let's both die together. I'm sure I'll be born as a mother who can properly love her child in the next life. And that's when Reki makes his choice. He knows that the lightning's about to strike, he can sense it, and pushes Mum away. And then runs away, draws in that lightning, gets struck. That's crazy, man. And God, it's the resentment must be so deep. Even in the wake of that, literally right in front of her, confirming Ginkgo's theory that he is sacrificing for her, she still can't conjure up feelings of love. As again, that same kind of Reki story is happening in front of us with his Mushi, right? Where it's like, no, I am happy enough to take on this burden for both my mother to save her, as well as to sustain this Mushi. And as he comes to, it's this moment of like the bird leaving the nest, you know? It's this moment of like it's reached adulthood. I've perfectly exhibited what it means to be a parent for this thing, and it's able to fly away and be free, accompanied with this beautiful soundtrack too. To me, this also feels like Reki escaping the nest, right? It feels like Reki leaving this situation, having demonstrated his own maturity. Like, he's the most mature character in this entire family by a long way. Just, yeah, I love how complex it all is. I love all the interpretations that you can make here. It's just dense and robust and fucking awesome. What a great episode, man. Once again, love a beautiful, poignant, kind of slow moment at the end of the episode that ties it all together. After that, their son was taken by a relative. Reki's not within that family anymore. Despite it not being the perfect storybook ending, it was the path that this particular mother and child had to take. They just weren't compatible. Despite all that, Mum kept to her word. There's the umbilical cord sent to him. It's still something that he holds dear, potentially representative of his own journey of parenthood for the Mushi as well as, again, almost a thank you from his mother, you know, for his sacrifices after understanding everything that was going on. I don't know. It also implies that she always knew where it was, too. Like, oh, I don't know. There's interpretations. I love interpretations. I love it. Once again, just that final piece of the puzzle tying it all together. Him looking up to the clouds, thinking of his own journey with his little guy, too. Just fucking 10 out of fucking 10. God damn it, man. So fucking good. And yeah, that's where we'll leave it. That'll be a top 5 episode when all things are said and done. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. It's going to be hard to shove everything, like that whole tier list, into the top 5. I don't know. Good show. I'm fucking sweating up a storm though, so I better get out of here. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe, Patreon. Getting towards that pointy end as well. Get your recommendations in. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.